Now that we have completed tabs 1 through 5, we can click Save and then OK. This will close the Client Profile dialog and allow us to move on to the allocation simulation. To run the allocation simulation, we will click on the Allocation Simulation icon. When the simulation screen first loads, we see 4 default risk levels: minimal, low, moderate, and high. Each risk level depicts a default portfolio that can be enlarged by clicking on the pie chart. The same is true for the broom graphs that we will explain shortly. The allocation simulation is created using historical rolling period analysis based on the client's investment timeline. If you recall, John is 61 with a life expectancy of 85, and Mary is 61 with a life expectancy of 85. So the investment timeline analyzed will be 24 years. Age 61 to 85 is a 24-year period. The allocation simulation will examine all 24-year rolling periods dating back to 1926. Therefore, for the minimal risk portfolio, the allocation simulation will simulate 1926 to 1950, 1927 to 1951, and so on, as if the dollars had lived through and invested their money during each of those rolling periods. The results here show the highest end value, the lowest end value, the median positive end value, the earliest depletion year and period in the event that there was depletion, and an historical probability of having at least $1 left in their account at their death. Notice that when the simulation is initially run, all of the graphs show green lines and that all of the probabilities are 100%. This is because the simulation initially loads using a buy and hold cash flow scenario, which assumes zero income or withdrawal. This is indicated by the dark green bar at the top of the screen. Therefore, the next step is to apply income to the simulation and view the results. To do this, we will select Change Cash Flow and select Cash Flow Option 1 that we set up in Tab 2 of the Client Profile. For the dollars, this is $80,000 with a 3.5% yearly increase. Once cash flow is applied, the probabilities of success change significantly, and there is much more red evident in the graphs. The minimal has dropped to 2%, low risk is 4%, moderate is 11%, and high risk is at 85%. As you can see, the high-end balances go up with the level of risk. The low-end balances are 0 to indicate depletion. The earliest depletion year indicates the year in which depletion occurred of all the rolling periods analyzed. This is considered the worst-case scenario. The client's initial risk level is indicated in yellow and is determined by the client's responses to the risk tolerance questionnaire in Tab 5 of the Client Profile. Now let's examine the results of the Cash Flow Option 2. This is the $80,000 with a 20% increase every 5 years. As you can see, allowing funds to compound for a period of 5 years provides a slight increase in the longevity of the client's portfolio, but still does not provide a very acceptable level of success. Thus, we will now be required to optimize the client's cash flow expectations. So we will click Optimize Cash Flow, which launches the Cash Flow Optimization dialog box. We will begin by selecting a base cash flow strategy. In this case, let's begin with Cash Flow Option 2. Next, we will consider 4 different areas of cash flow optimization and can use any combination of these 4 in hopes of increasing the probability of success. Let's first examine a reduction in beginning income need by reducing the beginning income need to $77,000. After making this change, we can click Optimize and we will see the client's original probabilities with no cash flow optimization and the optimized probabilities in the box below. Notice that the minimal has gone from 9 to 13%, low risk from 11 to 13, moderate from 39 to 52, and the high from 89 to 91%. Now let's add supplemental income of $15,000 per year for 3 years. This might be a part-time job or some other source of supplemental income. Upon clicking Optimize, notice the new probability in minimal risk is 15%. Low risk has increased to 15%. Moderate risk is now at 65%. The final optimization option considers additional deposits to the portfolio, such as increased 401k contributions or the sale of real estate. However, we will skip this option and save what we have done so far. When we click Save, The simulation will rerun using the newly optimized cash flow and will display the results with the optimized cash flow indicated at the top and the new probabilities in the risk level summaries. The next step will be to optimize the default portfolios in hopes of finding a portfolio mixture that will provide a higher level of success for this chosen cash flow.